The first signs of strain began to show during dinner one evening. Sarah sat across from my mother, her smile faint and her eyes distant. Every time my mother tried to include her in conversation, I noticed a slight tightening of Sarah's jaw and the restless tapping of her fingers against the table. I told myself I was imagining things, that the tension in the air wasn't real. After all, I had married her believing love would naturally extend to my family too. But as the weeks passed, that quiet unease became impossible to ignore. Christmas had always been a part of our family. Early decorations, the smell of fresh cookies, the sound of laughter echoing through every room. This year, though, everything felt different. Sarah seemed disconnected, uninterested in helping decorate, barely answering when my mother spoke to her, and avoiding eye contact altogether. I blamed it on exhaustion, thinking maybe work was wearing her down. I was wrong. One evening, while the house was softly lit by the glow of the Christmas tree, Sarah finally broke. Her voice was sharp and cold, cutting through the quiet. "I'm done pretending to like your mother," she said flatly. "Don't count me in for Christmas. I'm not going, and I'm tired of faking it." The words hung in the air like frost. My mother's eyes filled with tears, and I stood there speechless, unsure how to even begin to respond. Sarah's face was hard, her tone full of something deeper than frustration. It was disdain. I realized then that all the politeness and half-smiles had never been real. She had been tolerating my family, not loving them. The days that followed were suffocating. Sarah avoided home whenever she could, working late, eating dinner alone, and barely acknowledging me. Every message she sent was short and distant. Every attempt I made to bridge the gap was dismissed with simple, "I've said what I needed to say." It wasn't anger anymore, it was detachment, a quiet rebellion against a life she no longer wanted to be part of. And somewhere in that silence, I finally understood she had never accepted my family. She had endured them for my sake, waiting for the moment she no longer had to pretend. My mother tried to be kind. "It's her loss, sweetheart. We love you, that's what matters." But I could see the hurt in her eyes. It wasn't just Sarah rejecting her. It was a collapse of something we had all believed in. Then my younger sister, Emily, called. "You can't let her keep doing this," she told me firmly. "She's showing you who she really is. If you keep bending, she'll just keep pushing. Protect your family and yourself." Her words stung, but they were true. I had spent years trying to make Sarah comfortable, even at the expense of my family's warmth and peace. That night, I sat alone in the quiet house and faced the truth. I could keep trying to hold everything together, or I could stop sacrificing the people who loved me most for someone who didn't want to be part of my world. The following weekend, I made my choice. I invited my family for a small Christmas gathering. No pretense, no arguments, just us. I didn't mention it to Sarah, not out of spite, but because I wanted to bring back the joy she had drained from our home. When everyone arrived, laughter filled the air again. The tree glowed. The smell of cinnamon and cookies drifted through the house, and for the first time in years, the warmth felt real. My mother laughed without tension. My siblings joked like old times, and even the kids ran around in delight. Days later, Sarah finally called. Her voice was cold but curious. "So you went ahead without me?" I took a breath and said, "Yes," because Christmas isn't about pretending. It's about love and being with people who actually want to be here. You made your choice. I made mine. There was a long silence. She didn't argue. She didn't apologize. And I didn't feel guilty. For the first time, I wasn't under her control. That night, as I stood on the balcony watching the snow fall, coffee warm in my hands, I realized something simple but powerful. Love should never demand that you give up your peace or your family. Sarah had chosen distance, but in doing so, she had given me clarity. In the soft glow of that quiet night, I felt grateful, not for what I lost, but for what I regained. My family, my peace, my joy. Because sometimes the greatest gift isn't found beneath a tree. It's rediscovering the freedom to protect what truly matters.